Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady. And I have a question. How many times does it take for Karen to realize that I don't work here? And our first story. Once, twice, 3 times, and I don't work here. This is a story for the record books. It happened hours ago, and I'm still trying to process the how and why of it all. I live in a mid-sized city, tourist trap if you will, and I work for my mother's catering business as a pastry chef. I work from home. I don't have a uniform, and any job I've had up to this one has had one, but nothing close to the Wally market that this all started out in. While our central air was being fixed up, my mother and I went to said store in a big shopping center, 9+ stores in a big flipped L shape, with this department of nightmares taking about 1/3 of the tip end. I was wearing a white t-shirt with BOTWs and a Rosie the Riveter pose with black leggings with flip-flops. I keep earbuds in on silent as a please don't talk to me method. I'm in the bakery area looking for some nummies when a nice man asks me what cake I think is good for a little girl. I ask what she likes and such and flip through the catalog. He ends up picking a pre-made one with me pointing him to the party supply aisle. I pick up my own goods and follow my mom to the meats. Then baking supplies, then electronics, then diapers, then to get a kiddie pool before I went to the crafts and sewing department. I sew cosplay, and I'm making something for my niece's first con, so I'm kneeled by the 99-cent fabrics when I hear the click of heels. My mistake was looking up. I notice a woman maybe a bit older, but not close to a decade. I'm 21. She's wearing short wedge heels and the rest of the typical early summer attire, including a shirt from the local NBA team that's obviously gift shop. No haircut, but sunglasses on her head and arms already folded with a face that just screamed, "Don't bother with reasoning." Let's call her TK for Tourist Karen. I return to my search, earphones in and silent, when I feel 2 skeletal fingers tap loud thuds on my shoulder. TK, hello? Me, removing an earbud. Yes? TK, I need water bottles. Me, okay. TK, already getting louder. Stop being lazy and show me where they are. Me, catching on. I don't work here, so no need to yell. TK, well that's bullcrap. You helped a man in the bakery just now. Bear in mind that was over 20 minutes ago. As we were taking our sweet time looking at things in the store, this nut had tracked me down instead of a real freaking employee. So I say what I'm surprised many in this sub haven't. Me, Miss, being a decent person doesn't mean I work here. It just means I was raised right. TK, well obviously your mother missed teaching you manners. Mom, behind her like a ninja in the night. Did I now? This lady jumps like whatever demon had her captive popped out, looking at my mom all bug-eyed for all of 2 seconds. Then she pointed at me and huffed. TK, your daughter was extremely rude to me. She said I was a bad person just for asking for help. Mom, cool as Antarctica. I was in the next aisle over. She told you she didn't work here and you yelled at her. And she's an adult, so why are you telling me? The Karen then turned up her nose and stomped off, which we thought was the end. After we checked out, she appeared with the manager, screaming and pointing. The manager just looked at her like she was crazy, saying the employee that harassed her wasn't even an employee, and if she wanted, they could get the footage. She groans and just goes for the discount rant. I wish I could have seen the results, but we left. Think I'm done? Nope, just the beginning, folks. We go to the next store, the store next to Wally Mart, a chain grocery store, to find what we didn't get in the first store and what we wanted at cheaper prices. Coupons, not begging. My mom decided to leave me to my own devices while she goes to a different store while I'm picking out things in the freezer section. Just as I'm dumping pizza rolls in my tiny cart, an employee, company logo, and a massive printout on a black shirt with a blue apron knocked a few boxes of stuff onto the floor. I rushed over and helped. It looked like he was scared to be seen making a mistake. As I do that, what do I hear again but a loud, "Aha!" I turn and I kid you not, I was met with that same displeased face with a worse-looking grin. TK, I knew I'd find where you worked. Now I can tell a manager you were rude and made a mess. Me, I don't work here either. I'm just helping this poor guy out. TK, shut up! I'm going to get you fired for being such a B-word and making me look stupid. Me, you did that to yourself. Since I don't work anywhere near either place, just leave me alone. Guy, finishing picking up a frozen veggie bag. Ma'am, she doesn't work here. I've never seen TK. You can shut it too, or I'll have your job too. Just then a manager came down to see what all the yelling was for. I think, screw the pizza rolls, we just got mac and cheese, and speed walked down 2 aisles and out the door. Still not the end. I guess my mom would be in the dollar store by then, and lo and behold, she was. Being told I look like I swallowed a bug, I tell her what just went down, and she says stay close just in case this mental patient gets loose again. For about 10 minutes, it was calm. Reading birthday cards for my sister, picking out pool toys for the new pool, just being carefree. That bubble popped when I heard a very stern, "You." I look up, and there's an out-of-breath and red-faced Karen staring at me like the last lamb in the slaughterhouse. That demon that popped out before wouldn't want to go back in. Scared as I was by my mom, so instant mama strength gave me the patience to deal with Karen a third time today. Me, what do you want now? Karen, I want you to go up there and explain what happened, or I'll get you fired. Again with this. The employees here wear forest green shirts and khakis, and I wasn't even being helpful, just cuddling a card and some pool noodles. Me, I don't work anywhere in this center or this part of town. My boss is right here. I pointed to my mom, who nodded and pointed to her company shirt she was wearing. TK, she left me standing in there, and... Me, ready to end this. You followed me into I don't know how many stores and insisted I work there while I'm wearing a shirt with a shark person and a cart full of items. Leave me alone or I'll get security. TK, you embarrassed me, so now I'm embarrassing you in front of your coworkers. Me, leave me alone. I do not work here. She then picked up some granola bars from the shelf and tossed them at me. She cussed and screamed like a rabid animal as customers seemed to just look. Fun fact about the dollar store is that security's always there. Shoplifters are rampant in a store where everything's a buck and under. This big guy comes through and holds her in a bear hug. She's growling and fighting, scratching, and trying to bite before he's able to radio for backup. Minutes pass and this lady is in cuffs since this shopping center was right next to a hospital next to a police station. I get to make my statement in front of onlookers, laughing at the obscenities of the whole thing from the sidelines. They ask if I want to press charges, and I say no, simply because she keeps screaming that she's from somewhere out on the East Coast, and I'm not going to love going to court with this dream. She was just about getting taken away anyway for calling a police officer a moron and kicking the seat as he was about to uncuff her. She cried as he shut the door and said the one-liner to rule them all. Will you let me go when I take my meds? I hope she never visits again. I hate tourists. Our second story today is, if he only asked nicely, I could have told him I don't work here. I get asked for help lots whenever I'm in a tech store or EB game store. I guess making eye contact and smiling, mommy taught me good, and having a beard makes me a nerd, so obviously I must work there. Which is weird because I'm usually wearing a Superman t-shirt, shorts, and flip-flops, nothing like the get-ups retail workers have with black pants and whatnot. I always try and help if people ask me nicely, because it's the right thing to do, and I love how they get confused when I don't want to come check them out for my commission or whatever. I don't know how stores work. On the other hand, if they're rude, I play along and give bad advice because, why not? It's hilarious. Or if they're aggressive, I just escalate straight back at them. Only recently learned this skill as getting older seems to correlate with giving less Fs, and young me would have just frozen like a deer in headlights. Anywho, less rambling, more story. My favorite interaction in mistaken retail slavery was in EB Games. A nice mom, probably 30-ish, asked me about buying her son St. Row like he wanted. So I chatted for a bit and talked her into getting him Skyrim or something alike instead, and she quickly agreed that game where you beat people to death with dildo bats probably isn't the best for little Jimmy. I don't know if she thought I worked there or not. It was just a nice human interaction, and all was well. She thanked me and walked off. Then up walks Douche Lord, DL. Since I was helping somebody, I must work here. Douche Lord is one of those prissy little 18 to 21-year-olds that thinks because they wear a $200 suit and work in an office, they're a big businessman and ain't got time for nobody. He stomps straight up to me and squares off while I'm happily reading the back of PS4 games and demands, DL, do you have any copies of UFC? Get it for me. Me, no idea. Have you checked there? I pointed to the shelf of mixed up PS4 games in front of me. DL, no, for Xbox. And stared at me like I'm an idiot. Me, no idea, bro. Ask them. And I pointed to the EB crew at the desk. DL looks me up and down like I'm dirt and stomps off to the desk. I continue looking over games, killing time while the girlfriend does shopping. I get put at EB so I'm not annoying. It's a little man-childish. Thinking about what a little P-word the little effer was when I get surprised by the following from behind me and spin around wondering what's going on. DL, oi, there is one copy of UFC left in there. Go find it. Pointed at the big bin of miscellaneous games. One of the big bins is in the middle of the store. EBs always seem to be full of stuff that nobody wants. Me. It takes me a moment to collect my thoughts. Then I smile at him and say, sure thing, boss, as I know exactly how this is going to play out from now on. DL pulled out his phone and did whatever D-bags do on their phones. Me walking over to the bin, spending a minute or two finding the game and the mess of old stuff is full of. Score. I find it. It's only $20 or $30, so I be ninja and take the route to the counter that goes behind a pillar. I buy the game and beeline for the shop exit. As I round the corner out of the shop, I call out to DL, later, boss. The way his face changed from indignant to confused was awesome, and I went on my merry way, leaving him to find out that the final copy was sold. I never got to play the game. I don't even own an Xbox. And that's the story of my pettiest moment. I hope you all enjoyed it. I never got to play the game. I don't own an Xbox. Bless you and your stubbornness, good sir. I hope you enjoyed the story, and I'll see you soon.